What's going on, guys? It's Steve. A lot of people were asking me to do this. I'm surprised that this got so many mentions because actually both of them are forgotten superstars because how great they were. So Tracy McGrady versus Dwyane Wade. Who was the better player? Now, the reason why I say a lot of people, just completely disregard Tracy McGrady is because it's sad that people don't consider Tracy McGrady an all-time. I mean, some people do, but for the most part, a lot of people aren't considering Tracy McGrady to be an all-time great. And in my honest opinion, in terms of skill and talent, he's top 10 ever. Who the hell? 6'7"? I may be wrong. 6'7", 220 pounds, all muscle, can shoot, can post, can dunk on your head, athletic as hell. Look at that dunk contest, one of the greatest ever. I say one of the greatest ever because that 2016 dunk contest, woo, that was crazy. I hope Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon go back at it again this year. That was crazy. By the way, Aaron Gordon did deserve to win. But anyway, Tracy McGrady versus Dwyane Wade. Now, I'll say this. Both, in my opinion, you guys know how I feel about Dwyane Wade. And a lot of people, I'm going to segue real quick. A lot of people disagree with me because the way I view things are different from the way other people view things. And the reason why is I don't know if this is because, I don't want to sound disrespectful. But maybe it's because not a lot of you guys actually have played like competitive basketball. The reason why I say that is because if you have, you realize that no matter how good you are, if your team is garbage, there's nothing you can do about it. So when people sit there and say, oh, Michael Jordan's the greatest ever because 6 for 6, I'm like, bullshit. LeBron is totally more skilled than him, but that's besides the point. MJ is obviously totally more skilled and talented than 99.9% of the basketball players that have ever played, which is why I have him as my second greatest ever. But he's not the best ever, in my honest opinion. Anyway. Back to the thing. And if you have people that can win without a lot of help, like LeBron from 2007, I would say, to 2010 with the Cavs, that's great. That's great. And the reason why he lost to Orlando is because of matchups. He had Dwight, Hedo, Rashard, Jameer. LeBron had Mo Williams, who was an all-star that year only because, Chris Bosh got injured. So that's why I consider Dwyane Wade a top 10 because if you look at the total package that D Wade had, scoring ability, leadership, clutch factor, this dude was a killer in the clutch. Defensive ability, and if you want to talk about having elite all-time great finals, that 2006 NBA Finals can be debated and argued as one of the best NBA Finals in NBA history. And that's a fact. That can be argued as one of the greatest performances in NBA history. What was it? 35, 7, and 4, 5, something like that. Ridiculous numbers. Absolute ridiculous numbers. Because he's elite. And then you want to talk about Tracy McGrady. Do you see the numbers that T-Mac used to put? 32, 7, and 5? I think Kobe Bryant had an interview, and he said Tracy McGrady is one of the hardest players he's ever had to guard. I think he said Melo was the hardest, and then Tracy McGrady was the second hardest. Because Tracy had the whole package. Tracy McGrady could post you up. He could take you off the dribble. He can spot up and catch and shoot. He can dunk on your head. He's athletic as hell. He can drive by you. He can play off ball. He's elite. And to be honest, that's why I consider in terms of talent and skill top 10 ever. So that's the way I judge players. I'm sorry, but to be honest, D Wade's top 10 ever. Allen Iverson is top 10 ever. There's no logic. I'm sorry to say this, but there's no logical person, in my honest opinion. I'll say this. I would never draft Hakeem Olajuwon. People get on me because I don't have Hakeem in my top 10. Who the hell would draft? He was a great player, don't get me wrong. But who the hell would draft Hakeem Olajuwon over Dwyane Wade, over Allen Iverson, over Tracy McGrady? To me, that doesn't make sense. So to me, it's the whole package. It's not just, your team did good. I think Hakeem has 2 championships and dominant. I think it's like 22, 9, and 3 for his career. Ridiculous numbers. Great player. Don't get me wrong. Elite. One of the best big men ever. Hakeem the Dream. I get that. But I wouldn't draft him over D Wade. I wouldn't draft him over T-Mac. I wouldn't draft him over LeBron. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't. Sorry, but I wouldn't draft him over Jordan or Kobe or Magic or Bird, So anyway, back to the topic of the video. Let's segue back to the topic. Who was better, Dwyane Wade or Tracy McGrady? Dwyane Wade and T-Mac both have the dominant, most perfect package ever. T-Mac, however, was a better scorer. And the reason why I say this is because of one dominant reason. D-Wade had the post ability. He had the floaters, the layups, the dunks, the highlights. He could drive by you. He could play off the ball. He could play on the ball. He could do everything. But he didn't have a jump shot. Mid-range, yeah. Deep from three, no. Tracy McGrady, everything. Literally everything. So in terms of scoring, Tracy McGrady gets the nod. Now defense. Dwyane Wade gets the nod. Dwyane Wade is definitely one of the best defensive players I've ever seen in my life. If you've seen prime Dwyane Wade, even now, Dwyane Wade can guard LeBron. Even out of his prime, slower than he used to be. Slow as hell compared to what he used to be. Because the Flash, there's a reason why he was named the Flash. Dwyane Wade was a great defender. Blocking shots, stealing the ball, elite. One of the best defensive guards ever. So, in my opinion, Dwyane Wade gets that. Now, in terms of talent and skill, I would say Dwyane Wade has it in terms of talent and skill. Yes, T-Mac was the better scorer, but the total package in terms of the passing ability, the clutch factor, and I'm not saying, first of all, you see, now I kind of contradicted myself because 13 points in 33 seconds, that's ridiculous. And he did that twice. Not exactly like that, but he did similar things twice to the Spurs. Tim Duncan Spurs. Greg Popovich, Tony Parker, Emmanuel, those Spurs. And they had Bruce Bowen, one of the greatest defenders of the 2000s. So it's a really hard thing, but obviously, I'll just say this. In terms of the total package, in terms of, achievements and things like that, let's look at achievements. Dwyane Wade is a 3-time NBA champion. He's 3 for 2 in the NBA Finals, and before anyone says, oh, he had LeBron, he had Chris Bosh, 2 of the best players of the last decade, guys, he won without them. And people say, oh, well, he had Shaq. Even before Shaq came, they were in the conference finals, I think, against the Charlotte Hornets with Baron Davis, I'm pretty sure, when he hit that game winner in I think that was like his freshman or sophomore year in the league. This guy is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So in terms of the total package, I have to give it to Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade is definitely, in my honest opinion, the better player than Tracy McGrady. Now, this is kind of unfair because unfair things happen in life, and it happened to both of them. They both got injured. The only difference is Tracy McGrady Dwyane Wade happened to have more success than Tracy McGrady did. Partly because he played in the East and Tracy McGrady played in the Wild West, and, D-Wade had some help, and T-Mac had Yao Ming that got injured, and before that he was with Orlando. That was supposed to be with Grant Hill, but he got injured, And then D-Wade got injured, and he couldn't really do what he did with Miami, what they were supposed to do, because, to be honest, when LeBron was saying not 5, not 6, not 7, guys, if you think about it, if Dwyane Wade did not get injured, they would have won. Literally, excluding 2011. 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, probably 17, because they would still be together. If they would have won in 2014, no way in hell LeBron James is leaving Miami. There is absolutely no way in hell. If Dwyane Wade were healthy and they won in 2014 and they three-peated, there's no way in hell LeBron would leave because they would have 4-peated, 5-peated, 6-peated. LeBron, Wade, and Bosh were supposed to be the best dynasty ever. Unfortunately, Dwyane Wade at that period was injured. If you take Dwyane Wade now and Dwyane Wade last year in the playoffs, they definitely would have won in 2014. And if Eric Spoelstra would have had Chris Bosh, I'll say this as well. If Eric Spoelstra would have had Chris Bosh as the second option instead of third in 2014, Miami would have had a better chance. But I still don't think they would have won. But they would have had a better chance to win. I don't think they would have won, but they definitely would have had a better chance to defeat the San Antonio Spurs. And people blame LeBron for that series. LeBron, like Skip Bayless says LeBron choked in 2014. How the hell? 28, 7, and 5 on 60% shooting from the field, 50% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. Are you serious? Unquote, unquote, the greatest defender in the modern era? Kawhi Leonard, which he definitely is. 60% from the field, 50% from 3. We're talking about LeBron. 50% from 3. So things like that. I don't know, man. I think Dwyane Wade is the better overall player. I think he's better than Tracy McGrady in terms of he combined everything. Definitely both top 10 ever in terms of talent and skill. Dwyane Wade, in my honest opinion, is a top 10 ever in terms of everything. He has the total package. He's so freaking underappreciated. It's ridiculous. This guy is the definition of unguardable in his prime. Even now, he's unguardable. People saying Dwyane Wade, he's only averaging 19. Okay, he's only averaging 19, but we'll see what happens in the. Did you see what happened to Charlotte in the playoffs? This guy almost. I think they played Toronto. It was so long ago, guys. It's like 7 months ago. I talk about basketball every day. I can't remember everything. 7 months, I don't know, whatever. He almost went and faced LeBron James in the Eastern Conference Finals without Chris Bosh. And I'll tell you this. If Bosh were healthy, bye-bye Toronto, Charlotte would have been swept. And I don't know who they played. Just Charlotte. And Charlotte would have been swept. Toronto probably would have lost in 5 or 6 games. And they would have forced 7 games against Cleveland. I still think Cleveland would have won, but they would have forced 6 or 7 games. I would say 7 games against Cleveland. And to be honest, that would have been a really hard team to beat. You know, Hassan Whiteside, Dwyane Wade, Chris Bosh, Goran Dragic. You know, they made a lot of moves when LeBron left. It's just unfortunately, you know, they couldn't really do anything with it because Bosh with the blood clots, God bless him. Guys, man, Chris Bosh needs to retire. I know he wants to come back. Hey, wait a minute. I'll say this. Chris Bosh, if you want to stay in the league, there are 29 teams that if you want to play for them, you have to retire. But if you want to call one of your best friends, or you could just call me and I'll call him himself. You want to call me and I'll recruit. I'll tell Melo, listen, Chris Bosh wants to come play with you and Chris Paul. Derrick Rose off the bench. Imagine that. Derrick Rose off the bench with Chris Paul. If Derrick Rose takes a pay cut, instant championship. I'm sorry. CP3, Melo, Derrick Rose, Chris Bosh, Joe Kim, Kristaps Porzingis. Oh my freaking goodness, guys. It's been Steve. I'm out of here. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. I'm out. Peace.